I want to do something a little bit new here. So this is a video where I want to have a little more interaction from you, the viewers. I'm going to call this video "What's in My Bag," and talk about what I've got in my kind of utility bag here that I keep with me in most gigs, and go through it, and talk about what's in there and why it's there, what it gets used for, and that kind of thing. So, hey everyone, my name is Doug. I run a company in Orem, Utah called Doug Johnson Productions. We do live event videography, so concerts, business conferences, sporting events, those types of things. And I find that having a bag with me when I'm doing setup for different events is very handy. And there's a number of different things in here. The contents of this bag actually changes pretty regularly, but there are some consistent things in here. And so what I'd like from you, the viewers, is to do a similar video. So just kind of show me what you've got in your utility bag. I think we all have something equivalent to this. A bag, box, something along those lines. Things that we need when we're out on a gig doing an event. So let's take a look. So first thing I'm going to pull out of here, and a lot of viewers are going to recognize this. This is one of the Blackmagic Design Mini Converter optical fiber converters. This converts SDI to fiber and vice versa. It converts both direction. As anybody who watches this channel knows, I use fiber optic connections quite extensively. So the first thing I have in the bag is one of these converters. It comes in quite handy quite often. Alright, so next thing in here, this is actually not what I normally have in here, but this is a mini Displayport to Hdmi adapter cable. These come in handy with a lot of modern laptops. A lot of laptops have mini Displayport and often need to convert to HDMI. So keep one of those in here. Normally I just have a short little dongle style converter, but at the moment I've got the full cable in there. Alright. Next thing, I suspect a lot of viewers will have one of these. This is one of the Decimator MDHX converter. This thing is kind of the Swiss Army knife of video work. So it does conversion to and from HDMI and SDI. It converts both directions, even simultaneously. It also has a built-in scaler, so it will convert video from one format to another. So you could do something as crazy as converting standard definition up to 1080p if you wanted, or whatever. It handles every supported frame rate, every common frame rate, both for NTSC, so 60 frame and 50 frame formats, and converts both directions, and it does so quite nicely. And this thing is rock solid, it's bulletproof. There ought to be one of these in pretty much everybody's video production bag. Very, very handy to have. Alright, let's see, next I got another converter in here. This is one that I don't normally keep in the bag, but it's proven very handy recently, and that's an audio to SDI converter from Blackmagic, and this is the 4K version. This allows me to take 4 audio signals, analog audio signals, and embed those on SDI. So it comes out the SDI output here. I use this very often to get audio from inside a venue out to my trailer. So I embed the audio on one of the, sometimes on one of the camera feeds, and other times it gets sent just by itself. This doesn't actually have to have a video input on it in order to send a signal. It comes in, I believe, 1080i. It basically sends a black 1080i signal if there's no video input on it. But this thing has been very useful. So very often we'll do like 2 stereo channels of house audio, and then 2 additional channels for whatever. Like a couple weeks ago, we did an event where we were in a theater, and house audio was on the first 2 channels, and then audience mics were on the 3rd and 4th. And so they didn't want audience mics in their own mix, and so I added those in the trailer by coming in on channels 3 and 4 via the converter. I have the opposite converter, so SDI to audio, in my audio booth. So basically I just route the signal coming from this into the audio booth, and then the outputs, the 4 channels of output from that go into 4 channels of the mixer, and then I can create my own custom mix there. So, alright, I assume everybody's going to have one of these. This is just an HDMI to HDMI cable. This is actually the one that came with the Decimator. You can tell by the color. But HDMI to HDMI, very, very handy. Use that very often. And then next, yeah, IEC power cable. These come in more handy than I ever would have thought. I end up using these much more often than I thought I would. And most equipment has one, but very often one gets misplaced or whatever, and so I always keep one of those in the bag. And speaking of power, there's power supply for the Decimator, power supply for the Blackmagic converters, another power supply for a Blackmagic converter. So 3 of those in there. All right, so next. Okay, oh yes, yeah. So this is an 1/8 inch stereo to RCA adapter cable. This isn't necessarily for connecting my stuff, but very often is needed by other people when we're doing an event. This was used just a couple weeks ago with the film festival thing we were doing. The guy playing video off the laptop for showing the award show didn't have a cable for doing audio. So this did the audio. This was audio for the house mixer actually. So another audio cable here. So RCA to RCA with a couple of RCA to 1/4 inch adapters. Don't use that a ton, but it's certainly handy to have. Oh yes, and then since I work with fiber a lot, I very often find myself needing just a short fiber cable. So single mode, LC, duplex. This is what the Blackmagic converters use. So very often that goes to that. This goes into my breakout box, and then this will sometimes connect into that. And so I've got audio converted to SDI, and then the SDI going into the optical fiber and then getting sent out over the fiber cable. So those kind of work in conjunction with one another. So always keep one of those fiber cables around. Alright, short HDMI to HDMI, very, very handy. Another HDMI to HDMI. I use these things way more often and then yet another HDMI cable. Quite a few of those guys. Alright, okay, yeah, so some audio cables. So very often audio being sent to us is coming out of XLR outputs. So I've got these 4 XLR to TRS adapters. So it's the XLR female. Most of the time an XLR male is an audio output. So it converts an XLR to TRS for my audio converter. So 4 of those guys. Oh, power, yep. So this is a 3-way power splitter. So should be able to see that on camera. There we go. Yeah. So 2 power outputs on one side, and then a 3rd power output on the back. These are very, very handy to have. Just keep one of those in the bag at all times. All right. This has been an interesting one. Actually, grab one of these. All right. So this is a cable that actually I use with 2-way radios. So what I do here, the headphone or earphone output of the radio goes into a microphone input on one of my Blackmagic camera converter boxes. So this red adapter here converts a line level signal to a mic level signal, and so I'm able to receive audio from the 2-way radio into the intercom system that I use. So that's what that cable's for. You can see a few of these, SDI to SDI, or actually technically BNC to BNC. That's an RG59 cable. couple of short ones, just basically to act as male-to-male adapters. Similarly, our BNC female-to-female adapter there. In case you need to interface with something that has RCA inputs or outputs, I've got a couple of these, but so this one converts BNC to RCA. Hopefully the camera will focus there. And then this one goes the other way, so RCA to BNC, and just store those like that. I haven't pulled this one out of the package yet, but this is a fiber coupler, so I can use this to combine two fiber cables to extend the length. So if I need to combine, maybe say a couple of 50 meter cables to get out to 100 meters, I can do that with this couplers. I've got a ton of these things, but just keep one in the bag there. And almost last, we've only got a couple more things in here. So this one is the digital AV adapter from Apple. So this allows you to hook, say, an iPhone or iPad into a video system. So it's got the HDMI output. That's one of the reasons I have so many HDMI cables in here. So I can take the output of an iPad and integrate it into the video system. So keep one of those in there. And almost to the end here, I've got actually two of the same thing. I'll just show you one. This is a 1/8 inch to, I believe that's 3/32 inch audio adapter, and this is also used with the two-way radios. So what I do here is plug this into the microphone input there, and then I can send audio from a headset, someone wearing a headset, into the two-way radio. So that's actually mostly used with the wireless roving camera that I've got. So we plug the headphone portion of the headset into a body pack receiver, and then return audio from the microphone on the headset comes through a two-way radio. So I've got a couple of those adapters there. So that's it for actual gear in the bag, but I do keep a little desiccant packet in there as well to help absorb any potential moisture that may get into the bag. So that's something I recommend for anybody else. So there you go, nice quick video. Again, as I said, those not only things that show up in this bag. Sometimes I'll have other, say, HDMI or SDI converters or whatever. But this is what's left over in the bag from the last couple of events that we've shot. So yeah. So if you guys want to, I'd love to see a video from you guys about what you keep in sort of your utility bag. So take a few minutes to shoot one and post a link down in the description or down in the comment section. I think other people would be interested in seeing that as well. So if you guys have any questions for me, make sure and leave those also in the comment section down below. Also, if you have suggestions, smart remarks, or otherwise, we can leave those there as well. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. And as always, thanks for watching.